Okay, so thank you guys for joining tonight's call. It's April 1st, 2019. I am super excited for April. We have, I think, a really exciting month ahead of us and lots going on. So I'm sure all of you have seen our ER promos for the month. They are unbelievable. So my biggest recommendation is to jump on those promos early in the month. We're going to kind of get into that a little bit more, but just so you have something that you can show your people, tangible things, tangible product that you have, and things that you've got for free to share. Most of you are likely aware too of, in the past, we've had the Help 5 promo. There is going to be some changes to the Help 5 promo. So we don't know very many details yet, but most of you may have noticed that there isn't anything for Help 5 at this point. As of April 6th, there's going to be a new incentive that's going to come out. That'll be an exciting change for the Help 5. So just keep that in mind, that you'll notice on the 6th, there'll be a new exciting launch for incentives for more business builder type people. And then I don't know if a lot of you noticed, but over the weekend, I think it was late last week or over the weekend, I had posted a call that happened yesterday. It was an online Facebook group where you could tune in and just watch a couple Facebook lives. It was called Build Momentum, the Young Living Edition, and it was by Royal Crown Diamond Jordan Schrant. I just actually had the time to finish watching. I kind of have watched it throughout the day. But if you have not checked that out yet, and you are actively doing this as a business and sharing with people, it's, I think, about 40 minutes. There's 2 videos in 40 minutes. You have to take the time to watch it. It was unreal. Like, she has such a gift at communicating with people and communicating how to just break through those barriers, how to build up momentum in this business. So I'm not going to go over everything that she went on. I would like to talk more about it with you guys, but I think it's important to hear her perspective on how to build momentum and how quickly she got that kind of going. So if you don't kind of know what I'm talking about or haven't seen the post in the call, send me a message after and I will tag you in that post, just so that you can, I think the event's going to stay open for a little while. So it'd be good sooner than later to jump in and just watch that video. But tonight we're going to talk about the importance of essential rewards. So we as leaders, we all get excited when essential rewards promos launch on the first of the month, and we get to see like what new products and stuff we get with our orders. But I think sometimes what happens is we get excited about it, and this isn't everybody, but sometimes we just put off placing our own personal order. And not that that's a bad thing. I know that we all have budgets that we need to live by and things that happen in our life that can definitely change when in the month we're placing our orders. But if we don't have the product in our hands to show people at the beginning of the month, hey, this is what I got free, this is what you can try right now, and they see those tangible things in your hand, like I ordered all of this stuff for my home, it's what I was going to spend anyways in our family budget, and this is all that I got free. Like that excitement is what draws people in to place an order, right? If we're going to wait until the 29th of the month to place our order, what makes anybody else in your team think that they should place it early if you're not doing the same, if that makes sense? So, and for me personally, like, I think it's an investment in your business and in yourself to not only place your order early in the month, but to be earning the promos. I would say like minimum to be earning the 190 PV promo, to budget that into your life and your family and your business. But personally, my goal from the day I started, and this was before I was even doing this as a serious business, I was ordering the 300 PV mark every single month to maximize and get all of the free products. It was a great way for me to switch what I was using to a healthy alternative, and to, like, that's how I tried new things. So in the beginning, we were just replacing certain items in our home, but there's a lot of things I would have never tried if it wasn't for a free promo that I received from Young Living. So I just want to encourage you guys, like, to be placing it early, to try maximize as much as you can on those promos. Because you're actively sharing this as a business, it is a write-off, which is a huge benefit. You get to use these products in your home. You get to benefit from you feeling wellness and helping and sharing that with other people, but you also can use it as a tax benefit. And the second thing is with Essential Rewards, I know many of us have heard this before, but Essential Rewards is the backbone of our business. So what I mean by that is when we start a new month, so this is April 1st, every single one of us start the month off at 0 in our downline. So our overall group volume is all 0. But what makes the difference between somebody that, has, say, 200 or 300 PV or overall group volume in a team and 200,000 volume is the amount of people that get introduced to the product through duplication, fall in love with the product, and join Essential Rewards. Once we get people to fall in love with the product and join Essential Rewards, we know that that's an order that they're going to continue to place every single month. So when it's super exciting when somebody goes for a goal. So you're running for senior star, executive, or silver, and you're running for those big goals. You see that exciting number at the end of the month. Like you see the day that you hit 10,000 OGV and you hit silver. And then the next day, I know I've had this conversation with a few people that have hit a really exciting rank. And the next day you see 0. Sometimes it's like a shot to the heart of like, I worked so hard and I achieved that goal, which is amazing. But then you start over. But the way for that not to be so scary is by not only just, we can't just enroll a mass amount of people on a premium starter kit. We have to educate them on Essential Rewards and why it's so important for them to buy their product that way. The other thing is when we're educating people on Essential Rewards, is it's our job as members of Young Living and people that are advocating for Young Living and for health and wellness, is we have to help the people that we're serving fill the gap, their wellness gap. So everybody has one. Everybody starts off in a different place in their life. So our job is to help by recommending, filling the gap. It may be using Young Living products, but also encouraging them on the proper way to eat food, or a good recommendation for a chiropractor, or those things that fit into that big puzzle piece in their life of their wellness. Because once people start to pull all those pieces together for their whole wellness, they buy into the picture of how Young Living fits with all of it and how we need Young Living for all of that. And the biggest thing is when we're educating and sharing with people on Young Living, is it should never, ever feel like a sales pitch. Like, I don't know, I definitely have felt like that in the past. Has anybody else had that feeling of like, I'm promoting Essential Rewards and it just feels weird. It doesn't feel like you're doing it the right way. I think the missing piece with that is, number one, our passion, but number two is just realizing and understanding that we need to fill the need of somebody, not just sell them on a starter kit, or not just sell them on a one product, just a lavender oil. That's not going to transform or change somebody's life. We want to fill the gap in their wellness. And by offering those things that fill those gaps, we don't have to feel salesy. We should never have that yucky feeling of trying to sell somebody on something, because we're just offering what can be a benefit for them. And then the choice is up to them whether they want to choose to go down that route or not. The choice is theirs. We're just offering what we have. And sometimes it is the right time. Other times it may not be, and we may have to revisit that. But I just want those things to kind of be in the back of your mind. And then lastly, before we jump into kind of like the presentation of what tonight's going to be about, is when you're thinking about all of these things, I think the biggest thing that a roadblock, and this isn't just with educating members on Essential Rewards, this is with anything in our business and really anything in our life is to speak life over what we're doing. So if we're constantly telling ourselves like, oh, I feel salesy, or oh, I can never get somebody on Essential Rewards, and I just suck at this part of the business, and this is so challenging for me, and this is so hard. Well, that's exactly what you're going to walk into. But if you speak life over it, like, okay, today, I'm going to offer somebody the benefits of what this has done for me, or I'm going to offer them a solution to the problem they have. The choice is theirs to make, but we just need to view it as we're speaking life, we're helping somebody, and just kind of flip that script a little bit. And in some ways, I think it helps us not only for people to see the life and excitement and the joy in what we do. Just this past weekend, I was sharing with somebody kind of what I do for a job. And sometimes it's like a tricky thing to explain what we do. But the one thing that he pointed out after, he's like, when you talk about it, I see like a sparkle and joy on your face and in your eyes. And I just thought that was really cool because, usually when I explain to people like, this is what we do, it's a network marketing company, but we help people find freedom and wellness and in their lives and financial freedom. And it wasn't a place for him that he was ready to jump onto it. But the fact that he noticed something so little like that, I think is really cool. So you just have to dig in and find that place of what fired you up, started using the product, and use that to share with other people. So tonight, I was really excited. I asked an amazing friend, Jason Zelmer, if he would share with us tonight. He is really, really gifted in helping people understand the importance of, I know he's laughing at my words right now. He's just talented in explaining to people the benefits of Essential Rewards and breaking it down so that it doesn't sound like just another monthly loyalty or monthly auto ship program. Like, he gets people to understand why we have a budget and how we can use that budget towards young living. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason to kind of break down how he does his his Essential Rewards kind of spiel, just so maybe it will spark some good ideas for you guys to in turn share that with other people that you're introducing. So take it away, Jason.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you for calling me gifted. I hope others will see it the same way as you. I'm pretty sure the person you were talking to was that our Uber driver that said that?
No, it was your young Scottish friend.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So, can everybody hear us okay?
Yeah.
We're good? Okay.
I will also say too that as to Megan's point, I picked my order up today. It's the first of the month. You want to give yourself every minute you can to talk about the promos with everybody. I will also say, because I turned 40 yesterday, that I bought prostate health, so I'm going to give it a try. And I probably won't let any of you know how it goes, so you'll have to trust me. Thank you, Megan. Thanks for asking me. And as she says, like, it's probably the biggest thing in our business to build a sustainable business model is Essential Rewards. Without it, we're going to a month on kits. Maybe some people could, but it's going to burn you out. So how I do this is I always start with the end in mind. And when I say that, families always have a health and wellness budget. They might not call it that. They might not look at it that way. And I feel like it's our job to break it down for them. And, a lot of you have probably heard the oldest mantra in the book: people buy emotionally and they back it up logically. So we have to bring the logic to the table. And we've all sat with people that said, geez, I just don't think I can afford it. What am I going to spend X amount of dollars on a month? How many oils can I possibly use? And, I've last 5 years, I've really changed how I talk about it. And so I do a thing called, and what I'm doing tonight, I call it value-based sharing. I did this at our Level Up event. If you were there, you would have saw this, and it had a very big reaction because it just really simplifies things for people. And I've even had some people in this last week that told me that it really changed how they view it and that it's been helping them. I recently, Travis and I did a leadership summit last weekend, and I did it to a bunch of, high up leaders. I mean, Adam Green and some of these guys. And, even for them, it was just like, why do we not approach it this way? Because we've all heard auto ship. We've all heard, monthly wellness box, I think is what a lot of us use, but we're all terrified of that word auto ship. And we're all terrified when the conversation starts to go there and how am I going to say this? And I'll tell you what, if we show any sign of weakness or any hesitation or confidence when we go in that area, they're going to pick up on it in 2 seconds and they're going to feel like, hey, something's up here. So typically the best part of when I go through this exercise, it always comes from the audience. It's not me coming up with these numbers. It's always audience driven. However, for time purposes tonight, I'm going to use the one that we did at Travis and I's leadership summit. You probably won't be able to read all of this, but I'm going to go through it with you really quick, how I do this process. And I don't always have a giant easel with me when I talk to people, so you can do this on a regular piece of paper too. So the first thing you want to do is ask people, what is your health spending budget or in your house? And half of them, or maybe more than half, will look at you and go, we don't really have one. And then you have to say, okay, well, let's break it down. What items do you use in your house that you have to replenish monthly or bi-monthly? Anything from care products to makeup to toothpaste. So what we do is we start going through and making a list. And I always get people to come up with these numbers. I don't ever want to put words in people's mouth. So toothpaste is one that we have right at the top. If we're a family of 4, I would say $10 is actually low because we brush our teeth a lot. Deodorant. As a family, I would say $10 a month, maybe that's something every 3 months, but I'd say $10 a month is pretty good. One thing you don't want to do is inflate numbers because it starts to take away from it. Shampoo with 2 kids, daughters with long, beautiful curly hair, $50 a month in shampoo and conditioner is not a stretch at all. Red Bulls. This is scary because a lot of people drink Red Bull. A lot of people think Red Bull helps them get energy, and it does not at all. It does a lot of harm. We all know that. But the number that people came up with, and this person said they spend about $150 a month in Red Bull. When you consider that they're $4 each, or a lot of times they're like 2 for $5 at max or something, it's not a stretch. 1 or 2 a day, like that's scary. Vitamins. I put $40. This depends on the family and where they shop, because you go to places like Costco, Sangsters, Nutters, you can spend a lot more than $40, but we want to keep the number on the lower side versus inflated on the higher side because it brings validation to what we're doing. Sanitizer, $10 a month, not a stretch. Lotion, again, with 4 of us, 3 of them being girls that use a lot of moisturizer, $25. When you start to consider girls and families that start to use like horrible scented stuff from, Bed Bath Beyond or Body Shop or whatever, it can be more. Makeup. Probably a lot of ladies on the call. I was getting tired. $100 on makeup. That's absolutely not a stretch. I know that because I've seen Nick's makeup.
Old makeup.
Old makeup. Cleaning supplies. So cleaner for toilet, shower. We all use different ones. Your hardwood floor uses a different cleaner, so on and so forth. That's $30. Supplements. The average person is probably about $100. For me, that's more like $300. Baby care is $50 is probably pretty low. We know that people have no problem spending money when they have babies. So when you consider lotion, diaper rash cream, baby wipes, all this kind of stuff. Dieting. So dieting could be pills, tea, bars, shakes, any of that kind of stuff. We put it at $100. And then at the very top, we went back up and medication for whatever people are taking meds for. But even if you have coverage, you still could be up to $75 a month. I'm sure that the people on this call could come up with a whole bunch of others, but these are things that every family uses every single month, and they go out and they buy it in autopilot, not even knowing it's part of their budget. If you add these numbers up, they add up to $750 And that's not crazy. I know it sounds like, oh my God, that's a big number. It's not. So for purposes of the exercise, I still say, well, let's cut that number in half. So $375 is 50% of that number. And even $375 sounds like a lot of money to a person you're sitting there talking to when they start to think about this stuff. So once I have their buy-in and they agree that this is money that they're already spending every single month on these items, then I can flip it and say, how about if I could have all of this stuff, not only toxin-free, clean, safe, have it sent to your house in a box on a monthly basis for probably less than $375, would that be a benefit to you? Would that save you time? Would that save you money? Would that save you gas money? I started talking about these things and I saw Adam Green light up. I said, hey, it's less chance of getting in a car accident having to go out. And he's like, oh, this is my kind of talk. So let's say $375 and they say, yeah, actually that would be a lot easier if I could just get my shampoo and conditioner shipped to my house. And then I can say, the good part about that as well is that would qualify you. The key word there is qualify you for Young Living's rewards program, which is the best that I've ever seen. And if we just talk about the first year, if a person spent, say, $350, when you think about PV, for the first 3 months, it'd be about 35 points. And for the last 9 months, it'd be about 630 points. So you get about $665 in points in the first year, and then probably thousands of dollars in free promo. I got $200 worth of free promo today because I spent 304 PV. And grab all this stuff. It'll show up at your house. You're going to get a whole bunch of free stuff. You're going to get a whole bunch of points in return. Is that of value to you? And I'm yet to have somebody look at me and say, well, no, I like to run to Shoppers just to grab shampoo at 9 o'clock at night, or nobody does that. You do it because you have to. So, that's why in my team, I have a high percentage of people that go on to Essential Rewards, because you start with emotion doing this kind of stuff, and then you end with it's logical for them to do it this way. And not only that, but now you're making sure that they're getting on consumable items. You're getting them on Ninja, you're getting them on vitamins, you're getting them to try the toothpaste. And to me, those are the clients that are really, really hard to lose. It was the same for us when we started. It was about how much it cost us a month. We didn't look at what are we getting for what we're spending. Of course, after we do this for a while, we realize that this is a lifestyle and not just a company. It's easy for us to look at it and say, how do we do it the other way for so long? Like the energy drinks and the Vim floor cleaner and just the horrible stuff we used to use and the money we used to spend. But the thing is you spend $10 at this store and $50 at this store, it seems like small amounts. But when you, at the end of the month, if you added up all those 10 little tiny stops that you did to get these items, it is expensive. So that's how I do it. And that's how I encourage people to always do it, because you're bringing emotion, you're bringing logic, you're making sense, you're saving them money, you're saving them time. And that's what people find valuable. And if you're not of value to people, then you're just another thing on their to-do list. And people don't have time for another thing on their to-do list. We're crazy busy families nowadays. So be valuable to them. I think that's pretty much about it. And if I can keep it in time. How was that, Megan?
Thank you, Jason. I think that was so awesome. Debbie just had an awesome comment and just said that Sandy had mentioned before that people don't typically say when they're buying over-the-counter products, they never say, I can't afford that right now. So that's a really good thing to add in, because what we have can cover those OTCs. And then she also mentioned, which we might have to figure something out, Jason, is do a short recorded video of Jason doing value-based sharing, and then we could have a shareable link for for people.
I'll make sure I do my hair that day.
Yeah, totally. I think another thing too is just to add on to this and to kind of be mindful of is we all are aware that with Young Living, unless you're in Calgary, you can't just walk into the office and have your product that day necessarily. So we want to encourage our people to kind of be thought out in the sense of like meal planning, right? So you want to be thought out and know what the things you are going to need. So I used to explain to people like way back when I started, and I still use this often, is you don't have Band-Aids. Like you have Band-Aids in your house for just in case, right? So using a lot of Young Living products like essential oils and those things are for the just in case. You don't want to all of a sudden your kids are sick, or all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, I don't have any shampoo, and then decide you need to place an order and wait 2 to 3 days. You want to encourage people to, when they're planning that out, is to think, okay, when am I going to need those things, and be prepared and have them ordered. And once we can kind of get people on that cycle, then they'll be making lists and kind of organizing it a bit better. But just encouraging people, like we don't want people to be running out of our products and have to go somewhere else. We want to teach them to, have a backup if it's your favorite shampoo or your favorite eyeliner or whatever. But I love the idea of working it backwards and showing people this is how much you spend. And I think it's so often we are spending all the time and we just don't realize how many of those small trips add up. And like, I always think just the gas, the mileage on your vehicle to go. And for most of us that have little kids, like who wants to haul 2, 3, and 4 and 7 billion children to every single store?
And labels.
Yeah, like a 20-second stop turning into an hour because of a tantrum, So it's just those little things that to pique people's interest of, we are helping you because these are wellness solution products, but we're also helping you with your time and your stress and all of that. It's just like that big picture. So I just think that this is such a good way to start the month off, is thinking about that as we're encountering people within our teams that couldn't make it on the call, or introducing new people into the product. And I know for what's launching on the 6th, this will also be a great tool as your hint of getting people excited. So I just want to honor kind of our time, and I appreciate you guys for jumping on tonight. The call will be recorded, so I will post it in the group, and I'll share it with Debbie and your team if you guys want to share it with anybody else. And we'll try get a good clip of Jason doing like a 5 to 10 minute spiel on the value-based sharing, because I just think it's so helpful to help people introduce the benefits of Essential Rewards. So thank you all for jumping on tonight. I appreciate your time. Have a blessed evening. We'll catch up with you guys soon.
Thanks everyone.